Right, welcome back everybody. They're joining us for this first round clash between Steve Tuohy and Chris Wilkins. Both regular players on the OSC circuit. Steve's had a particularly good year this year, having a few eyesight problems sort of the last year or two, and he seems to have overcome that now, and he's now playing in a pair of glasses, which is certainly helping him. He's played some really good stuff. Yeah, Chris will be obviously going into this game probably the underdog, but he's had some decent results in the past as Chris, beating some good players. He does bowl very well. If he could just cut out the odd mistake, then I'm sure he'll give Steve a really good game here. Lovely start from Steve, just what he needed. It's a very good ring, the TV ring, so I played on it yesterday and all four hands are very good. Yeah, should be an interesting game. Yeah, looks a decent line, just going to bend away at the end, but pace is pretty good from Chris. Just a fraction wider. Yeah, this is the last of the first round matches now this session, plus there's two second round matches just started as well. Yeah, Chris changing hands here, and Chris's backhand. This is a nice steady draw down this side, so there's no problem sort of chopping and changing hands. All four hands are pretty good. Yeah, it's just a fraction wide. Yeah, his weight was quite good again, but you just have to adjust that line. If you've got any questions you want to ask, please feel free to send them in on Facebook, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you've got. Great to see so many of you tuning in and from all around the world. If you can sort of share the live stream as well, that really helps. Just want to get as many people viewing as we can. So yeah, please share away. Yeah, it looks like Steve's holding definitely one, possibly two. The camera angle sometimes isn't always easy to judge, but he's definitely got one. It's just an open draw really for Chris, just as close as he can. Yeah, it's been a great first tournament here at West Berks. John Bennett and Donna have done a brilliant job looking after everybody. So we're bang on time, which is good news. Went very well yesterday, some cracking games on the TV ring. Oh, Chris is trying a bit of a runner down here. It's an interesting choice of shot. He needs a bit of luck going through Steve's bowl. Oh, and he nearly got it. Wow, Steve's still holding one, so that must have confirmed that Chris actually had 2 seconds before he played that. So Steve just looking to add another. His line looks pretty good. All on his pace. Looks very good. Yeah, he's in for 2. That's a good start from Steve. He'll be very pleased with that. 2-0 to Steve Tuohy, first end. Yeah, it's the first time they've held a tournament here. And as I say, it's gone very well. Yesterday was a very good day. It was a mid-morning start, which when we do like the 1.5 day schedules, it just allows you to be a bit more flexible with the start time on the Saturday. Yes, sometimes we've held tournaments starting about 2:30. Say for instance you've got Denny Cup on the Saturday morning, you can actually start play after the Denny Cup's finished at 2:30 and get almost, well, 32 players will play on the Saturday and then 32 come back on the Sunday, and then the two sections come together at the quarter-final stage, and that's how it all works. Got 4 qualifiers from yesterday, and we'll have 4 from today. As I say, I think the quarter-finals are scheduled for about 4:30. Yeah, yesterday's qualifiers, we were in the quarter-finals. Barry Jenkins, Andy McIntyre, Pat Briscoe and Sean Jones. All 4 will be back again later on. Yeah, good bowl there from Chris, he'll be happy with that. Those first couple of ends, you just want to find your way into the game, just feel the pace. There's nothing worse than getting on a rink and not being able to feel the pace. So yeah, both players will be looking to just get their arm going, and they both seem to have dropped on the pace quite nicely. Yeah, good reply there from Steve, drawing the shot. Yeah, afternoon, David. Bill McJack actually lost his first round match. Yeah, Bill lost to Wayne Snook in the first round. It was a 7-4, 8-2 scoreline. So yeah, Bill Jackson's regular on the tour, and he just likes to be called Bill McJack. I think what it is, we've got another Billy Jackson from Lincoln, which obviously Billy plays in a few events. And to save any confusion, Bill just thought it'd be easy to call himself McJack since he's a Scotsman. So that's where the name comes from. Yeah, Chris is building a good little head here. If he can just touch the jack around the corner or lift Steve's bowl out once or twice, one turn. Yeah, it's nothing more than just a draw at the moment. His line looks pretty good. He's not far away. Very good effort. Just needs to reach now. Great try, Chris. Well played. Excellent ball. Yeah, looks like shot to me. Yeah, Steve, I don't think he'll be doing much more than just drawing, probably following that bowl in. It's quite a nice hand that side. Just needs a good pace drop inside the wing bowl. Yeah, line looks pretty good. All on his pace. Great line here. Is he up? Great effort, just not quite reaching. Oh, it's finished in a decent spot. I mean, Chris may have been thinking about trying to sit his bowl down onto the jack. I think he's looking at it now even, just to maybe lift Steve's over onto his own, sit it down, he could make a nice 3. There's not really any danger by playing that shot, as long as the jack doesn't go too far. I think he could easily give the shot away by playing the open draw. So be interested to see what he chooses to play here. I've got a feeling he might try and sit Steve's bowl onto his own. I think I'd certainly be looking at doing that. Yeah, down his forehand. Yeah, it looks a pretty nice shot. He only has to make contact with the front green one. Looks a good line. Has he got enough pace? No, he hasn't. It's just dipping away now. That hand does go quick. Once the weight starts coming off, it does go very quick. But Chris will be happy with that. It's 1 to Chris, 2-1 after 2 ends. keep you updated with what's going on elsewhere. Got a couple of second round games going on. Martin Puckett is playing Wayne Snook, and Paul Maynard is playing Chris Young. Both of those are second round games. Martin Puckett is 4-2 up on Wayne Snook, and Paul Maynard and Chris Young have just started, and Paul Maynard's 2-0 up after the first end. The first round games that are on, got Jordan Moore playing Scott Edwards. Scott is 6-3 up after 5 ends. Andy Napper's playing Ben Pawley. Ben has actually taken the first set there, so 1-0 to Ben. Gary Fountain is 9-2 up on Donna Knight. So that keeps you updated with everything else that's going on at the moment. Yeah, decent start from Chris again. He's certainly dropped on the weight, which is always very nice early on. Got a big run of tournaments coming up now. Starting to get very busy, sort of from February, start of February with Worksop, sort of Loddon Vale. We have a run of about 9 or 10 weeks where there's virtually a tournament every week. I think bar one weekend, I believe, as a tournament. There's still a chance to get in a few. Ipswich are still taking entries. It's almost full, I believe. Torquay, Ipswich and Hartlepool have just got a few spaces left. So you'll have to move quick if you want to get a late entry in. And of course, there's always a chance of getting in as a replacement if you go on a reserve list for any event. I know Bristol are taking reserves, Dolphin at Easter are taking reserves, Wellingborough. So there's still a chance to get in the events. We do get dropouts because people's people have to drop out for various reasons. So we always look to fill the empty slots with replacements. So definitely worth contacting the organiser and getting on the reserve list. Right, Chris, looks a decent line if your weight's right. Oh, it just looks a bit quick. Yeah, I'd be disappointed with that. I had a chance there just to sort of shut the head down. Giving Steve a chance now. Steve looking to draw the shot. Anything round by the tee will be good enough. Great line from Steve. Yeah, looks like the shot. Very good. Yeah, as I say, Chris would have been looking to bowl a similar bowl there. He's probably a little bit disappointed with this third. You can't give a man of Steve's quality, another chance. He's always going to be there or thereabouts. Yeah, Scott received the bowls. David, I gave him the bowls yesterday. Great effort from Chris, just a touch wide. It was a good try. Yeah, I think Scott was looking to get a set of green Revolutions for the portable rink when he recently played at Potters in the World Championship. The early part of the tournament, the carpet was really fast, and he was looking for a set of Revolutions with scoop grip, and he couldn't find any. He ended up borrowing sets of bowls and using other people's bowls, which obviously is not ideal when you're playing in the World Championships. And I think Steve's just let Chris off here, so it's one to Chris, one to Steve. Yeah, so sort of Scott's sort of a bit disappointed with the way he sort of ended up playing through the World Championships with bowls that he wasn't familiar with. So he was determined to find a set of Revolutions, which David kindly sold to him. So I know he'll be more prepared next time he gets to the World Championships, which will hopefully be next season. But yeah, he's not using them today. He's using his, I believe he's using these grooves today, these red grooves. Good to see so many people joining the coverage from South Africa and New Zealand and Australia. Really good. You know, I always keep an eye on what's happening over there as well, so I follow some of the live streams, and I love the idea of the new tournaments that's going on over in Australia. A friend of mine, Gary Kelly's gone over to play in Australia in, I think, the Ultimate Bowls Challenge, I believe it's called. It's great to see that. Good luck, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, good start from Chris there. Yeah, loose opener from Steve if he wanted to cut those bowls out. I mean, that's the sort of thing that definitely gives your opponent a bit of a lift. If you see your opposition dropping the odd bowl short, and it certainly gives you a boost and gives you a bit more belief that you can actually beat the guy in front of you. Good reply there from Steve. Yeah, it looks like he's just fell in for shot. Yeah, just confirmed by BJ, Steve holding. Yeah, I don't think Chris will be trying more than a draw. He just draws a similar bowl to his last. If he can just drop inside of Steve's, he'll end up making two. Only needs the slightest of touches. Got to be careful on this side though, because it does cut really quick. I noticed in the game with Norman and Martin Puckett this morning that Norman especially had just one or two bowls that just didn't send wide enough and ended up cutting across. I think the forehand side, or their backhand, is the truer side on this coming this way. Great line from Steve. He's just a little bit short. I wonder whether Chris will think about changing his hand here and playing underneath Steve's short one. Just arriving down there, jackal bowl maybe with a yard. Obviously could have an accident flipping his own bowl out, but I think it's the sort of thing. Yeah, he's looking pretty positive line. Oh, he looks well under. Yeah, well under, just going across. I think it's the right shot though. Chris just needs to make a bit of an adjustment with his next. I mean, there is danger of taking his own, but I think at this early stage it's worth a look. If he can get Steve's bowl out clean and stay for two. Wonder whether Steve will go deep here. Yeah, he's changing his hand. Anything past Chris's wing bowl will be in a good spot. Needs to run. It's a great line if he's got the pace. Not quite up. Well, how brave is Chris here? He's only one down. It's one of those, if he's clumsy, could take his own bowl out and drop a three. How brave is he? He's thinking about it. I think he could play a little bit less weight than his last bowl. If he only played a yard, maybe 4 feet, there's less danger of him taking his own. He could still lift Steve's out and stay for two. Let's see. Yeah, I think he's still playing the same hand. It just all depends how much weight. Let's have a look. Yeah, better line this time. He's playing less weight. Oh, he looks too wide there. That's not getting back. He's not getting back from there. And he's not got lucky. Yeah, he could have got a result off that wide bowl. It certainly wasn't what he was trying, but we've all seen that sort of thing happen before. So 1 to Steve. 4-1 lead at the moment after 4 ends. Scott Edwards has taken the first set. against Jordan Moore. Jordan actually put up a good fight there. He got back to 6-4 playing the last end, and Jordan's one of these guys, like I could name you 20, 30 guys on the circuit that their games have improved so much over the last 12, 18 months. You know, it's just playing these competitive matches all the time, and you know, you are going to take a few beatings at times, but you know, you come back stronger as long as you learn from the games that you lose. You know, there's a lot of players that are now starting to win games that maybe 2 or 3 years ago you would sort of think, oh, that's a nice first round draw. All of a sudden now these guys are winning matches, and it's great to see, and that's what the circuit's all about. You know, there aren't many easy games anymore, which is exactly what we want. You know, people's games improving all the time. Tony Parsons, another guy that's you know, he's made a couple of quarterfinals now, I believe, and he's knocking on the door. He's actually got a chance this year of qualifying for the grand final with another couple of good tournaments. He'll be there or thereabouts. Last year's grand final total was about 135, 136 points, so that's the bubble. Got quite a few players playing this weekend that are sort of in and around that area, looking to secure their grand final place. I mean, looking at yesterday's results, Sean Jones and Barry Jenkins have both secured their spots at Potters. They've sort of both guaranteed an extra 36 points from yesterday, which puts Sean on 156 and Barry on 150, so I think that's more than enough to qualify for the grand final. Chris has got to be careful here. He doesn't want to go chasing this too early. He's still plenty of time in the set. You know, I wouldn't advise playing too many runners. Or he is having a look at this down his forehand. He looks a bit wide. Needs to get lucky, which he hasn't got. Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play when you know, it's early days still in the match. You don't want to sort of lose your line and length too soon. I think sometimes it's you know, you just got to sort of maybe keep your line and length, and just right, you may not win the first set, but you put yourself in a better shape going into the second set, you know, rather than chasing a game and then all of a sudden, you know, you're all at sea and you're all over the place in the second set. You know, sometimes it's worth having a bit more patience and just sort of see where that gets you. It's one thing I've learnt over the years, and you know, especially in team games. Oh, it's a great effort here from Steve. He's just not quite got Chris's bowl out. Chris has still got second. Yeah, you just think with experience comes the patience side of things. Sometimes you can, you know, you learn to settle for one downs a little bit more. You know, even if you are behind in a match, one down's not the end of the world. You sort of wait for a better chance. As I say, that comes with experience. Yeah, Chris is I wonder what he'll play. I think he may play the same shot. Yeah, he's shaping up again. Forehand underneath. Bowl or jack. Looks a better line. Much better line. He's close here. Very good effort here. Bowl or jack or both. He's got it. Ah, it's a great shot. Well played, Chris. And he stopped for two. Back in the set. Yeah, that was a good takeout. He played that really well. Nice control weight. Steve would have been a little bit disappointed with his last bowl not to get a second, which would have stopped Chris playing that shot. But yeah, right back in the set now, 4-3. Yeah, I'll give you a good example of the patience thing we were talking about a few minutes ago, and we were playing mixed fours semi-final, area semi-final a few weeks ago, and we were in a really bad position, and I think it was scored something like 12-3 down, and we'd played about 8 or 9 ends, so it's halfway through the game, and we were 1 down on this particular end, and it was a risky shot to maybe get the jack back to make 3 or 4, because obviously it could have gone wrong. I could have took our nearest bowl out, and the game would have been over. So in the end we decided more or less to settle for the 1 down, which at that stage of the game takes some nerve. I think we sort of really held our nerve, so we settled for the 1 down. It was 13-3. Before you know it, next end we pick up a 4. Eventually we got back level playing the last end and won the game, and it just shows you that one decision back on the 8th or 9th end, 10th end, whenever it was, really contributed to us winning that game. You know, and I think you sort of learn from those experiences, and certainly as you get older you do tend to get a little bit more patience, have a bit more patience, and it certainly helps make the right decisions. I think that's the big thing, is making the correct decision, which I think we did in that game, and it certainly helps us because we went on to qualify. So yeah, that's quite a good example of it. Crucial 5th end here. Looks like Steve's holding shot. Good bowl here. His line's very good. Just a touch over pace. He's used the wing bowl, which has proved to be a very nice little touch. He apologised to Chris. He knew he was a little bit heavy. Got a great result. Chris just under the line again. Say that hand does cut quickly. I'm not sure it's the better hand of the 2 coming this way. Yeah, Steve holding 2. Looks a good line. His weight's good. He's very close here. Yeah, looks very good. Yeah, he's in for another. Crucial end this now. Chris has got 1 bowl left. I think he needs to change his hand, you know, and just draw a shot down his backhand. He's got 2 bowls to rest there. He bowled a good first wood down that side, so no reason why he shouldn't bowl it. If he bowled the same wood again down his backhand side, he would get shot. I think he really needs to consider changing his hand. No, he's sticking with his forehand. I think sometimes players see a bowl which sort of looks in the way, but it's not. The front bowl is there, but it's not in the way. He could have easily got around that. You know, he's overweight and he's got nothing to rest on. If he's overweight on the other side, he'd probably get shot. And that's the difference. It's probably a bad choice of shot there from Chris. Yeah, if he bowled that same bowl on the other hand, he'd probably be holding 1 shot now. Yeah, this is certainly a chance for Steve to wrap up the set. Looks a little bit wider. This might stick. I don't think it's quite going to get back. No, just a bit too wide, so it looks like 3. Still a good score. Puts him 7-3 up with 2 to play. In the driving seat in this first set. Nice to see Darren's joined the live stream this morning. Hope you're feeling a bit better, Darren. Yeah, Darren's on the edge of the top 60, top 32 at the moment. He needs another good result in one of the events, which I'm sure he'll get. I think he's got 5 Rivers, Dolphin, maybe Bristol. I'm not sure if he's entered Bristol, but he's got 2 or 3, 4 more events coming up. So Darren will be there or thereabouts again. Nice to see Malcolm over in Jersey's join the live stream as well. Hi Malcolm, hope you're doing well. Be good to see you again, mate. Steve just coming up a yard short there. Not ideal. It's been a little bit scrappy, the game. It's not. You know, both players have played some good bowls, but there's been a few loose ones too. Good reply from Chris. Yeah, he needs to try and score a 2 here. You know, 2 2s are gettable. He'd be happy with a tie, I would think, first set. We've had 1 or 2 problems with the music this morning, so we've had to turn the music sort of down because Facebook have, because of copyright laws and all that, we're not allowed to have the music in the background too much, so that's probably why it's coming across a little bit quiet. The music is still playing in the bar area. It's we do encourage it because it adds to the atmosphere. It's, you know, the spectators can sit and watch and chat, and they're not disturbing the players, which is what we want. So yeah, it's a great thing. We are looking into ways of sort of combating the music problem with the live streaming, but yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, looking like Steve's holding 1 here. Good bowl here. He's just going for a bit of cover. Yeah, he'll be happy with that. It's a good spot. As I say, Chris probably needs a 2. Yeah, I think for now he just needs to be looking to draw the shot. If he can just draw a good tight shot, it gives him an option then for his last bowl. So he looks under to me, and he hasn't got enough weight to lift the bowl out, so just his weight was good for the draw. Yeah, Steve's just looking to close his head down now. Anything within foot ash, he's actually going deep, just in case Chris decides to play a little runner for the jack. He's just gone for a bit of cover. Probably could have done with getting past that bowl. It's still not bad over on that side, and as I say, Chris probably needs a 2. One's not really enough. Although yesterday we did see in the Sean Jones Martin Heinzman match, Martin picking up a 4 on the very last end of the set to win the set. It was a bit of a surprise because Sean was playing so well, and it does happen. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So Chris, I think he's just looking to draw the shot and touch the jack for 2. Yeah, 2's good. I mean, there is an option to try and get both bowls out. He could play a little runner, sort of halve the shot bowl and maybe get back down for the other one. Yeah, I think that's what he's playing. Just looks a touch wide. He might get the shot bowl out. Oh, he's unlucky. Well, I don't know. He may have got it out. It's going to be, so the angles are a little bit deceiving on the camera. Looks like one to Steve. So that's first set to Steve. Yeah, I think he's good value for that, really. I think he played the better bowls, more consistent bowls. So Chris had his chances, but be looking to just up it a little bit second set. Of course, that is the beauty of sets play. You saw a game yesterday, I think, a player lost first set 10-0, came back to win the second and win on a tie break, so yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, Chris has brought the mat up here and just it looked like Steve was just trying to bowl out a turn there. I think he thought Chris had already bowled. But yeah, Chris just brought the mat up a few yards and trying something different. But he's definitely playing the better side now. I think he needs to try and stick to this side as much as he can. He's just pinched it a little bit. His weight's pretty good. He's just pinching the line a little bit. Yeah, good line from Steve. Very good starter. Very good. He's gone about 7 or 8 inches through. Chris already changes his hand, which I think he just needs to try and stick to one side, just start drawing a few bowls together, and it's not easy to keep chopping and changing your hand. Although saying that, he's got a decent effort here. Good effort. He's just running away from it. Yeah. Looks like Chris might still have shot. Very close. It was a good bowler, Chris's, that was. So he's back on changing hands again. Yeah, he's drawing down his backhand now. Line looks very good. All on his pace. Very good effort here. He can just sit his own down. It confirms the shot, and he has. Well played. That's a great ball. Steve might have a look at this. He's only one down, but looks quite inviting. If he can get down between his bowl and the shot bowl, just reach it. Anywhere into the split is a good bowl. He's probably lacking a bit of pace, I think. It's just going across. He might get a result. Oh, the bowl's gone with it. Very unlucky. There's always a possibility of that happening, but so bowl wider and he would have got a very good result. Right. I think Chris needs to stick to the hand, his backhand. There's plenty of room around Steve's last bowl. That's a yard short, that is. He can draw around that. He doesn't need to change hands. He does seem to change hands quite a lot though, Chris. He's done it again. I can't really agree with what he's doing because there's no need to change hands. I think all you're doing is creating a few problems for yourself by doing that, and he looks tight. He's got to get round to Steve's front ball. Oh, he's got away with it. Wow, that was a very good result. He was at least a bowl or two tight. His weight was pretty good. But I think Steve will be arriving down through that gap. If he can rest one of the bowls and get a second or get the jack clean, probably just make sure he's up here. Won't play too much pace. Yep, down his forehand. It's just probably a draw, making sure he's up. Line looks pretty good. What's his weight like? Great effort. Great try, Steve. Oh, second word. Well played. Good ball. Good recovery. Yeah, one to Chris. No, it's a good end that. Changed hands a few times. A few good bowls played. But yeah, I think if Chris is going to go on to win this, if I was going to give him any advice, it would be just to try and maybe stick to one side a little bit more. I know we have to change hands sometimes, but maybe just concentrate on building heads by sticking to one side as much as possible. That's a good end though. Yes, it's nice to see you, Phil. I'm glad you're enjoying the streaming. Yeah, it's an open draw every round for this tournament. When we've got a bit of time, we do encourage the open draws. Obviously, first round concludes after this session. The second round draw has already been made. There's a couple of matches on now. I'm not quite sure who the winner of this game plays in the next round, but yeah, we do encourage it because I think sometimes players can be put off if by looking too far ahead in the draw. You might see. You've got Steve 2 in the first game, then if you beat Steve you might have Greg Harlow, and then you think, some people will think, oh great, possibility of playing Greg, but other people think, oh no, is it worth me going to play Steve 2 and Greg? So that's the reason we try and encourage open draws as much as possible. It's not always possible because of time factors. In the one-day tournaments, obviously you're up against time and you're trying to get matches on and off sort of quite quickly, so that's why they're always pre-drawn the first 3 rounds. I think 99% of the tournaments always draw open draws at quarter-final stage. But as I say, when we're playing over 2 days and we've got a little bit more time, a bit more flexibility, we do encourage the open draws, and people do like it. Yeah, I think looking at yesterday's results as well, I think Michael Knight's confirmed his place at Potters as well. I think Michael gets 16, is it? The last 16, I think he lost in. Yeah, Michael lost in the last 16, the third round, so he's confirmed his place. He's now got over 150. So so looking at the ranking list now, I would say there's probably 22, 23 spaces gone, 24 even, for the top 32. Still time for people to make a late charge. Yeah, Michael gets another 17, so he's got 154 now. And as I say, I think each year the grand final amount is creeping up. I think the previous year it was 128, 129. Last year was 134, 135. It might go to 140 this year. So that's what you've got to aim for to make the grand final. And it is a weekend that you will have so much fun and enjoyment. It's definitely worth the effort getting in that top 32. It's a fantastic weekend at Potters. Quick update from some of the other scores. I'll keep Jeff updated. Jordan Moore against Scott Edwards. Scott is 5-1 up now, second set, with a set in the bag, so Scott's looking quite good. Ben Pawley 6-3 up on Andy Napper. Andy's, in fact Ben has just won that game, so Ben's through. Andy's 26th in the ranking list at the moment with 116. He's got a few points added from today, so he's going to need another one more good tournament to make the grand final. The other scores: Martin Puckett's 1 set up, but 5-4 down against Wayne Snook in the second set. Gary Fountain 1 set up and 5-4 up. And looks like Paul Maynard has taken the first set against Chris Young. Steady start to this second set, 1-1. Yeah, we're all good, thank you, Phil. Enjoying the bowls. Poor bowl from Steve there. 4 or 5 feet short. Good chance for Chris now to step in. He really needs to get 4 bowls down this side of the green. This is the better hand. I think he realises that, and he can just draw 3 or 4 good bowls, just slightly over pace. Line's very good again. He is bowling the line well. Oh, Martin Puckett and Wayne Snooker 5-all, playing the last end of the second set. Wayne needs to win that end to get into the tie break. Better bowl there from Steve, better pace. Wow, and Chris has changed his hand again. I don't believe it. He doesn't play 2 bowls on the same hand ever. I don't quite understand it. Wow, I just can't see how you can get any consistency doing what Chris is doing. He really needs to stick to one side of the green. He's not helping himself here. You've got to get in a good rhythm. This game's all about rhythm and confidence, and he's really sort of making hard work for himself. Don't think I've ever seen anybody swap hands as much as Chris. Yeah, you can just see at the corner of the screen there on rink 6 that Martin's put a front toucher on Martin Puckett against Wayne Snook. So Wayne's got it all to do now to get that bowl off. Of course, Martin's our grand final winner the last 2 seasons, and currently he's really struggling in the ranking list. He's played a few tournaments but just hasn't managed to get any results this year, which just shows you how tough it is. You know, a player of Martin's calibre, sort of down in the, I think he's 180th, believe it or not, after 3 events he's played. So he certainly needs a big weekend. He was telling me this morning he's got a few events still to play, so plenty of time. He's well down. I think he's got 18 points, I believe. He's played 3 tournaments and had 3 first-round defeats. It's absolutely amazing. But I'm sure he's going to put things right today, the way he's playing. Only takes one good event. Chris is playing a bit more positive here. He's having a look. He needs to hold though. It's going to dip away. That's another 2 there to Steve. 3-1 lead. Yeah, certainly playing the more consistent bowls is Steve. Yeah, Gary Fountain has just beaten Donna Knight on the next rink. Yeah, looks like Martin Puckett is still holding a match lie. Scott Edwards has just beaten Jordan, and the next game on the TV rink will be Scott Edwards against David Miles. David's from the West Berks club, so be a good test for that. Scott playing against a very good player on his own green. Right then, Chris, you need a couple of really good ends now, mate. You've really got to settle down to drawing. Give yourself the best chance you can. Steve about a foot short with his first bowl. So, yeah, just coming up a little bit short there, Steve. Yeah, we've got plenty of bowls coming today. The finals scheduled for about 7:30 this evening, so please stay with us all day. And quarterfinals start about 4:30. We'll try and get slightly ahead of that for time-wise if we can. Yeah, we do like to try and crack on with the matches and don't want to fall behind the schedule. Oh, Chris is just coming up a bit short. He's a little bit disappointed with that one. He knows he's got to start winning a couple of ends in a minute. He can't leave it much longer. Good line here from Steve. Very good effort here. Yeah, that's a great bowl. Very good bowl. That really does ask Chris the question. Wonder if he's going to attack this. No, he's sticking to the draw, which, as I say, is not a bad thing. He's got to try and find a way of drawing some very good bowls in here. This is a great line. It's a good effort. Very good effort, Chris. Oh, that's a great bowl. Second wood. Gives himself a chance. That's a good bowl there. That's what he needs to be doing. As I said earlier, you've got to have patience in this game. As soon as you start chasing the game, that's when you're in trouble. Right, Steve will be looking to just drop behind here. If he can get to Chris's last bowl or just beyond it, it's a good bowl. Very good effort here from Steve. Oh, that's a great bowl. Oh, fantastic spot. He could not have put that in a better place. Absolutely brilliant bowl. I think, yeah, Martin Puckett has just got through. Well done to Martin and Lucky Wayne. He's just what he needed. The reigning grand final champion is making his way up the ranking list. Yes. Well, looking at this shot now, he's got the respot. Now it might be worth him actually having a little runner down his backhand, bowl onto bowl, jack out to the corner. He's certainly eyeing it up. If he can. Yeah. Oh, he looks tight. He had the right idea, but he's just well under the line. Yeah, he's played the right shot. It's a good 2 to Steve now, and puts him well in control. Yep, definitely 2. They're even having a look at the third. BJ's just going to have a quick measure. Yeah, Steve well in control of this game now, and Chris is going to have to pull something out of the bag to have a chance to win in this set. I think Steve's playing very consistent bowls. He's not making any mistakes. Yep, 6-1 it is. It's confirmed as 3. Yeah, good win for Scott there. He's on the TV ring next game. I don't know how he's going to manage to commentate on his own match. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, we could get him mic'd up, couldn't we? Yeah, so comfortable lead now for Steve, and Chris has got 3 ends left now to score 6 shots. So it is doable, but he just needs to try and beat Steve with the first 2 bowls. Try and get Steve running at things. Oh, good start from Steve. It's just what he's looking for. Again, Chris choosing to play this 4-run side. It looks a better line. Has he got the pace? Line's decent. Great effort. Just needs to reach now. Great effort from Chris. That's okay. That's a good starter. Just needs to get 2 or 3 bowls about with his first 3 and hopefully sort of create a chance. And if he creates a chance, he's then got to take it. You know, in these short format games of 2 sets, you know, you don't get many chances, and when you do, you have to take it. It can be the difference between winning and losing a set or winning and losing a match. Again, he just needs to be drawing in here. He doesn't want to be attacking this too soon. Got to try and build something. Of course, it's easier said than done. You know, when you're on the green, sometimes you get a bit of brain freeze, and you don't always sort of play the shot that we see on the screen. But now it's a good bowl, decent bowl from Chris. It gives him 2 seconds. He's going to be looking to score at least a 2 here. You know, three twos is doable. I'm surprised Steve's a little bit short here. Thought he might just make sure he was up. Now this is the bowl really when Chris could just try and maybe just make sure he's up and try and lift Steve's bowl out. Doesn't really want any movement on the jack, but he's looking a bit wide. He just sent it a touch wide and it does stick. I think that's one of the reasons why a few players have bowled that hand narrow today, because they know if they go a fraction wide it just holds. Of course he played it with a little bit too much pace probably, which didn't help. Yeah, he's in a bit of bother now. I think Steve will just be looking to go deep here. I don't think he'll be too worried about adding another. And Chris has got jack for 2 if Steve doesn't cover it. He's not got a lot of weight on this, so he's certainly not behind. Well, he's trailed the jack and that's certainly helped. He's took Chris's shot away, which is a great thing to do. It's a risky shot because if you don't get it right you leave the opposition a chance for 2, but he's played that brilliantly. I think Chris is in trouble now. He can probably only make 1 by drawing the shot. Shot bowl's about 7 inches short, so down his backhand, try and draw the shot. I would suggest that's all he's got, and then he would need 5 in the next 2 ends. Big bowl here from Chris. Must be backhand, yeah. Backhand draw. Try and save the match. He's 2 down. He has been playing this hand really well, so be surprised if he's too far away. Looks a good line. Looks a very good line. All on his pace. It's not bad. What an effort. What an effort. Well bowled, Chris. That is a great bowl. A match-saving bowl there from Chris Wilkins. Yeah. Well done. It gives him a slight chance. 6-2 now to Steve. That's probably Chris's best bowl of the match there. And as I say, that is the better hand. A little bit more leeway on that side of the green. It's not quite as punishing. Yeah, it's been a cracking event here at West Berks. Members are enjoying it. Decent crowd in again today. Right then, Chris. First bowl. This is where you need a really good first bowl. Try and set something up. So you can get a 2 or a 3. Looks a good line. Yeah, slightly overplayed it. It's better there though than in front. It's a yard through. Yeah, if you've got any messages, any questions you want to send in, please do. So next game we've got Scott Edwards against David Miles. That's be coming up more or less straight after this game. Chris Young's fighting back against Paul Maynard. He's 7-0 up in the second set. So Chris Young looking like taking that game to a tie break. That's a better bowl there from Chris. That's just what he needed. Took advantage of Steve's sort of loose first bowl. Good line from Steve. Has he got the pace? Is he up? Just looking under. Not quite got the weight. Good chance here now for Chris. Just needs another draw. If he's a few inches over, that's good. He can trail the jack. But just don't try and trail it. Just draw another shot. The line's not bad if his weight's good. Oh, Chris just needs to reach. It's not bad. Slide down the bowls would be good. Oh, unlucky. Wasn't far out. He just had enough weight to add a second. It was just a fraction too narrow. That's a good bowl there from Steve. He knows dropping one here is not the end of the world, because Chris would need a 4 on the last end. I think all Chris has got is to draw another shot. He needs to add another and hope to get a 3 on the last end. Certainly no way he can get Steve's bowl out without moving his own shot bowl and possibly moving the jack. Just draw another shot, Chris. That's all you can do. You know, 6-4 playing the last end, who knows? A 3 is gettable. It's difficult, but it is gettable. Yeah, we've got some more second round matches starting in a moment. One more session of second rounds. Chris Moore is now playing Gary Fountain. Right, Chris, it's a good line. What's his weight like? He's good weight. His line is very good. He's not bad here. He's not bad. Just needs to stop. Great effort, Chris. Oh, could be. Not quite sure how far that's run out. He's maybe not. Maybe it's third. Hi to Kalila. Nice to see you watching, Kalila. Hope you're enjoying it. So we're here all day today.
Getting closer and closer to the TV ring. I'm on 6.
Yeah, Steve obviously just the one down there, and he knows he's well in command now. Asking the question of Chris. Chris now needs a 4 to take the match into a tie break. Yeah, there's a chance missed there for Chris. He bowled a decent end but only scored a 1. Right then, Chris, first bowl needs to be thereabouts. Just try and give yourself an opportunity. They do sometimes crop up the chances for 4, as I say yesterday in the Martin Heintzman Sean Jones match. Martin got a 4 on the last end to win the set, but this is not a great start. He needs to be reaching, Chris, and that's 4 feet short. That really makes life difficult now. May need a bit of help from Steve tapping his bowl up. I'm surprised Steve didn't change his hand actually. He certainly doesn't want to make contact with Chris's bowl. Well, it's a couple of yards short there from Steve. So poor first bowl. Chris just needs to get this one in and hope his other one gets tapped out. He looks better with this. Yep, good bowl here from Chris. That's gone through a couple of feet. I think Steve's done the right thing here, changing his hand. There's no danger of him turning Chris's bowl up. He knows that unless that bowl gets moved, there's no way Chris has got a chance of a 4, and that's a good bowl from Steve. I think Chris has even got to think about moving that bowl himself now. He's looking at it, he needs to get his own bowl moving forward and follow through. If he's a little bit wide and misses his own, he gets Steve's out. He needs to play this with a yard of pace, 4 feet of pace, lifting his own in, or just missing it on the outside and getting Steve's out. He's not bad. It's a good effort. Oh, he's got neither. He's through the gap. That was a shame. That was a decent effort there. He's gone in the ditch, and that's the handshake. That is it. So Steve Tuohy is through to the next round. Well played, Steve. Yeah, I think overall he's a worthy winner, and he knows he can play better than that. And Chris just didn't quite perform as well as he probably hoped. But it's a decent effort. He bowled some good bowls, but probably just the chopping and changing of hands just didn't quite help him, and Steve, as I say, worthy winner. Well done, Steve, and he's through to round 2, where he'll be not quite sure who Steve's playing, but we'll update you with that. Anyway, we'll have a quick break before the play starts for the second round. Thank you.